everybody, it's Bryan, and you are listening to the Course Building Secrets podcast. Whether you're a coach or a CEO, the success of your team and clients is based on your ability to deliver a consistent experience and guide them on the fastest path to results. This podcast will give you practical, real-life tips that you can use today to build your online experiences that get results and create raving fans. Why? So you can monetize your expertise and serve more people without adding more time or team to your business. If you're looking to uncover your $1 million framework, package it, and use it to scale, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone. This episode I am dedicating to all of the business owners out there who are trying to figure out how to create and launch their business, be it a one-on-one, a packaged, an online, a digital, whatever you want to call your business. Listen, here's the deal. I'm going to give you a tip right now that will change the trajectory of your whole work life, is to sit down right now and map out the process by which you work. Let me explain. So lately I'm hiring for a position or two, and so I've been having a lot of interviews. And I've got to tell you, overwhelmingly, the biggest thing that I hear when I'm interviewing people, and most of these people are small business owners who either have been working for years at a company and have gone out on their own, or they contract or freelance and work on lots of projects with lots of different companies. And the thing that's so surprising to me is most of them do not have a process for how they work. And I'll say that most often small business owners, regardless of if they're in my industry or in another industry, struggle to define how they work and the process by which they get their projects finished. So I'm going to tell you that is the biggest rookie mistake that you can make as you are trying to grow your business. Because here's the thing. If somebody asks, well, how does this work? Or how do you get a project done? If I hire you, how do you work? What does your work look like? How do you go about completing a project or a task or whatever it is that you've been asked to do in this interview? It is the most important thing for you to say, in my work, here is my proprietary process. Here is my XYZ method. Here is the step-by-step way that I go about doing my work. Because most of the time, 99.9% of the time, people are reaching out to hire you because you have something that they want, right? You have an expertise, you have a way of doing things, you have an approach that will help them to actually accomplish their goals or solve a problem or give them a transformation. But if you say, hey, I'm going to give you this transformation, I'm going to do this project for you, and just trust me that I'm going to be able to get her done, then you have a problem. Because that person is thinking on the other end, well, how do I know that you can get it done? How do I know that you are the person who can help me? If they're asking questions, you're giving vague answers, or you don't have a methodology or a process that you can walk them through to say, hey, here's how we're going to go from where we are today to being successful, whatever that looks like. Own a process. And so often I think people are afraid to do that because they don't want to seem pushy. They don't want to seem like they have to use their process if somebody's interviewing them. And I can tell you that the person who's interviewing you wants to know that you have control and expertise around what it is you're offering. So let me give you a tactical example. So I was interviewing somebody today, and I was asking questions about how he did his work. And he was very comfortable answering with the outcomes or the solutions or what he actually created, but not about talking about how he got to that solution. And that's actually what I was asking him for, was how is it that you go from, identifying a problem to creating the solution? What does that look like? What's that process for you? Do you have 4 client meetings, and then you create a scope document, and then you create a storyboard, and then you create, the solution? Do you go from a client meeting to creating the solution? Do you wait for somebody to give you instructions? Do you, what is it that you do? And literally, he couldn't tell me. Now, most of the time, people would say, well, maybe he just doesn't want to seem, too pushy or too set in his ways in case you have a different process. And I would say that that's a huge risk. It's a huge risk to go into a conversation and not to be able to articulate how and why you do what you do. And especially if you're going directly to a client. The client wants the confidence that you're going to be able to give them a clear path to go from where they are today to where they want to be. And they're counting on you to do that. They're not hiring you as an employee. They're not hiring you as an extra pair of hands, meaning somebody that they just want to bring in to do a bunch of busy work, right? They're hiring you to come in and give them a solution, give them a transformation. And so you have to own that process, whatever that is. The more you own that process, the more you stand out as an expert that they're going to want to hire, and they're going to want to pay a premium, and they're going to want to work with you because you have set up a specific system that will help them be successful. And that doesn't mean that you can't be flexible within the client's, way of doing things or their meeting schedule or whatever else. But what you're doing is you're having control over the process to get them to an outcome. And I would say that, I think most of you know, but I've been doing this for a very long time, right? The projects that didn't go well are the projects where I stepped in and let them lead, right? Because they're looking to me to lead, number one. Number two, when you don't actually have any sense of what the process is, whether it's their process or your process, if you don't have any sense of what the process is, then you're just floundering around in the dark. Why are they hiring you, right? They're not hiring you to flounder around in the dark. They're hiring you to lead them down a clear path that will get them to an outcome. And every single industry, every single discipline has a process. It has a way of doing things. Marketing has a process. Training has a process. Sales has a process. Everybody's got a process to how to do things. There's a beginning point and an end point. Now, when you create your proprietary process and your proprietary method, you are sort of wrapping up what the standard is and then adding your own individual expertise and guidance around that particular methodology. But you're not changing the way things are because there's a process to it. You just have to sit down and think about, how is it that I do my work? Then if you can sit down and say, how do I do my work? How do I create a solid process, give it a name, give it this is Tara's methodology, this is Tara's process, this is whatever, however you want to package it, just define it, package it, and then use that to help somebody see and paint the picture of how to get from point A to point B. If you can do that, sky's the limit for you in terms of conversations you're having with people. And you say, this is how I go about helping my clients become successful. I do A, and then I do B, and then I do C, and then I do D. And this is how I can ensure or guarantee that you're going to be successful. You can have those conversations. Then, you know what it does is it also allows you to look at how to set up systems and process around each of those so you can start to work smarter and not harder, right? And then you can start doing training around that process, either training your team or training your customers or training other people who want to learn your process. That is where everything starts to layer and layer and layer, and you become more of the expert. You become the authority in that particular thing. So regardless of where you want to take it, the next time you are on an interview and applying for a job, think about how you go about doing your work and going from where, the beginning of the project to the end of the project. Really think about it, put some parameters around it, define it, and be able to talk about how you do things. And you can give the caveat, this is within kind of how it works with your organization or the framework or whatever else, but give them the actual clear steps for how you're thinking, how you're doing things, what your approach is, where there can be success. That's all an employer, a client, or a customer wants from you, is that to have that confidence that you can give them that level of success that they need. All right, that was my tip for today. Hopefully this helps you out. And the next time you are showing up, you're going to have a defined process that will help you help the people that you want to help. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. The best thing you can do is to take action on an idea or tip that resonated with you. To help you take action, I have a free gift for you that you can download in the show notes. During each episode, we publish an action plan worksheet and other helpful takeaways from our speakers in the Course Building Secrets Creators Lab. To register for free, click on the link in the show notes. Enjoy.
Hey everybody, are you a business owner ready to streamline and scale your business? Imagine solving the biggest business challenges with clarity, a strategy, and a clear plan. Hey, I'm Bryan, and I want to invite you to take the first step towards transforming your business with a free 30-minute discovery call. This call is an opportunity to discuss your goals, identify key challenges, and learn how my mentorship program can help you achieve the success you're aiming for. In just a half hour, we'll explore how you can scale your business by enhancing your authority strategy, engagement strategy, and retention strategy. You'll get personalized advice and a clear path forward. Ready to take the first step? Click on the link below that's in the show notes to book your free discovery call now. I hope to talk to you soon.